Let's see what GM brother has to say.
What's good, everybody? This is the one and only GM, and today,
Damn, GM is mogging the fresh shaven joint.
the video I'm gonna make is the death of Tekken 8, and this is a video I want to make for a minute. As you guys know, I know a lot
Death
of you
of
guys
Tekken 8?
don't play Tekken 8 no more because of the whole how broken Season 2 was when it first came out. It was kind of playable. You know, you just ate 50-50s all day, got clapped, and you couldn't even play the game. Like, you just get bodied in like 5 seconds. Everybody was so broken. And then they came out with an emergency patch. The emergency patch didn't really help too much neither. It just made the life bars bigger, so everybody just goes crazy. Pokes are not very good no more because the life bars are too big. It's too risky to poke now. And the only thing they did was take out like the glitches, like the 4-1+2 with Paul into while staying 3-2, and the Jack 2-1 4-1+2. He could still do it, but it's not as fast as it used to be. So they changed that. The game is still super casino. People still have their crazy 50-50s. Lars is ridiculously broken. The game still has a lot of there's a lot of work that needs to
Yo,
do.
Raven, what's up, man? The best comes last.
The community boycotted the game in Season 2, and it's never been the same after.
Do you realize that we pushed the boycott? Do you realize that was our movement? Like, I wonder if Tekken 8 like really quote unquote dies, they will say, oh yeah, Planted Medusa is the reason why Tekken 8 did bad.
To the boycott. When you go into a quick match, you have to wait like 30 minutes to fight the same person over and over and over again. Rank is even worse. You gotta wait like an hour to fight somebody. And if you do find somebody, it's probably a cheater. Even in quick match, I ran into cheaters too. Nobody's playing the game. Nobody. The only people playing it are like the hardcore tournament players. And that's about it. Nobody's really playing the game. I've never seen something this bad since the end of like Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Where, you know, the tournaments had like 10 people, 12 people, 13 people at the end of Tag 2. But Tag 2 was never really that big. It was more like a hardcore type, you know, community where there was a decent amount of people. But the turnouts were never big. Maybe 60, 70 at a major. 100 if you lucky. Tekken 6 had a good run too. At the end of Tekken 6, when it was dying, there was still tournaments, hardcore tournaments. Of course, you know, a lot of people stopped playing by the end of Tekken 6, but the end of Tekken 6 was a lot better than the end of Tag 2. The end of Tag 2, almost nobody was playing. The end of Tekken 6, though, there still was a good amount. Tekken DR was like that too, where there was still a decent amount of people playing at the end. But Season 2 with Tekken is like completely dead. This is the worst Tekken's ever been, because I played Tekken.
Wow, you know what? This is so crazy. Why this is so crazy? I thought the like movement of like we hate Tekken 8 is more of a European Korean thing. But I thought that NA loves Tekken 8 because most people from NA are the people 24/7 like shilling and like virtue signaling for the game on Twitter since like the beginning of the game. Like really, I thought it was the NA people would still like Tekken 8. I'm surprised.
Till the game's done.
NA loves 50-50. I don't know who is from NA in the chat. Like, who can tell me, like, hey, Medus, you know, maybe it is like half-half. Maybe some people still like Tekken 8 in, I don't know, Shadow 20Z maybe likes Tekken 8. You know what I mean? Does Shadow 20Z like the game?
Alright, 7-2. So at the end of 7, people were still playing it a lot. It's just people didn't care about it as much at the end, was because the game was really old and people just got tired of the game already. You know? But yeah, guys, this is really bad. I don't think the new patch in May is gonna, I don't think it's gonna bring people back. I think people are mad and they're just tired of the game. They're gonna have to change the game completely. And I don't even think the May patch is gonna change too much. I think it's probably just gonna change a little bit, but not enough to get everybody to come back and play the game. So Namco messed up really bad. The boycott messed it up really bad because people still ain't come back. I heard for that petition of the website that was boycotting the game, only 300 people signed off their names, and there's like, was like 8,000 people signed that petition. Only 300 of them took their names off. That's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. I just think Namco just didn't they didn't stick to their word where they said they were going to make the game way more defensive. They didn't. They just made the game way more unga bunga and way more crazier. I don't know how they had a whole year to see these tournaments and see Dragon versus Dragunov and the Bear dominating everything, and they just decided, yo, let's just make the game even more crazier, even though they had a whole year of data to balance the game. Because, you know, people just still play Tekken 8 regardless, but the people complain, but they didn't boycott season 1. I think changes would have happened faster if people were complaining even more in season 1. Season 2, they were way more aggressive to the boycott point.
Yo, Galaxy, what's up, man?
Another thing, dude, they have to change the matchmaking settings. Whatever they did to the matchmaking settings, you can't find anybody to play. It's really disastrous. You can't find nobody, bro. I'm like, bro, this game is only a year old and it's dead.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too, you know. I watched, who was it? Kaizoku Lars. Bro, I watched Kaizoku Lars and he wouldn't get matched. Yeah, I would watch Kaizoku Lars and he wouldn't get any matches. And I watched Exist and he didn't get any matches either. And Sephi Black was playing fucking Fatal Fury, so...
Honestly, no offense, it feels like I'm playing an SNK game. SNK games are like that. You play Samurai Shodown online, you might find 1 or 2 people in 25 minutes. On KO 15, I bet if you play KO 15 right now, you find more people online than Tekken 8 Season 2. It's crazy because you expect the second season of a game to be way better than the first. But Tekken 8 Season 1 is a lot better than Tekken 8 Season 2. I actually miss Season 1. I think Season 1 is a way better game. Can they come back to this? Like get people to play again? I don't know, man. A lot of the big creators kind of killed it too by, you know, playing Fortnite and playing old Tekken games.
A lot of creators killed it too by playing Fortnite and older Tekken games. Yeah, okay, but GM, you cannot put this on us as a fucking gacha moment, bro. When the game is shit, I can't fucking force myself to play it. It's not everything for me about money and fucking whatnot. Keeping the game alive at all costs and stuff like this. If it's bad, no?
And telling people not to play Tekken. So it was kind of is a combination of Namco's fault and the creators' fault.
I don't know if he means it like that. Like, do you really mean that it is our fault? Or is that just like a misunderstanding here? I wonder if that's really in his head or he just said it in the wrong way. Because how can he say it was Tekken's developer's fault and the creator's fault for the game being dead? How is it like my fault?
Namco, they just take too long to patch things, man, to fix things. I don't know what's good with them, bro. Because look at SNK, Fatal Fury, for example. That game had a Marco Infinite and other Infinites. SNK patched it like in 2 days already. SNK patched it like in 2 days. Namco, to get rid of all that Paul nonsense, that Jack stuff, it took them mad long to fix all of that. They take way too long to update the game. And another thing, people were getting mad already when they was making us pay for stages after we bought the season pass. They made us pay for that Heihachi stage, even though it should be free in the season pass already. So there's a lot of things people are getting mad. People just don't like paying for stuff that should be free in the game. Old school Tekkens, you just unlock stuff and you get characters and stages. I miss that about old games, that you buy a game and then, you know, you just play the story mode and you keep unlocking stuff. Tekken 8 doesn't have enough single player content. It don't. Another thing too about Tekken 8 is that the arcade launch is useless. It should be like Street Fighter 6, where you could go to arcade launch and play different games like Final Fight, old school Street Fighter. It would be dope if you could go to arcade launch and Tekken 8 and play like Pac-Man and like old Tekken games and whatnot. That would be fire. But the arcade launch is nothing but scrubs, and there's nothing you could really do in there. Tekken 8 lacks a lot of content, man. I've never seen a game die as fast as Tekken 8. I'm not surprised, man, when every character in the game plays the exact same way and nobody has identity anymore, the game becomes really boring. Because everybody...
Oh yeah, I saw like something that Doug from Paris said and I got inspired a little bit. You know what I said was, when you play Tekken 7, Tekken 6 or Tekken Tag Tournament 2 or something like that, you go to a restaurant and you look to the left and there's like a black dude, he's eating steak. On the right in the corner there is like a Caucasian man with his wife, he's eating spaghetti. There's an Iranian guy in the fucking at the bar and he is fucking eating frutti di mare and shit. Everyone is on a different vibe. Even though it's the same place, everyone can specifically choose what they want and like. But Tekken 8 is McDonald's. You go at the fucking corner, at the fucking shelf, you say either fucking Big Mac menu, fucking Chicken McNuggets Mac menu, this Mac menu or that Mac menu, and you shut the fuck up. Everyone gets the same fucking shit, and that's it. You know? This is the gameplay in Tekken 8. Everyone has the same archetype, 50-50 lockdown. There is no archetypes anymore. You know? Every single character, a 50-50 lockdown. That's quite astonishing.
It plays the same. There's literally no reason to play another character or multiple characters because everybody plays the same. So if one is better than the other, you might as well play the better one. And that's how you notice too in Tekken 8, you notice players can play any character in the game. You know why players could play every single character in the game? Because they all play the same. In older Tekken games, people cannot play every single character. You know why? Because they all play different. But now everybody has the same super aggressive type of play style. Everybody got, you know, stuff that overcomes their weaknesses. Like June could just rush you down now before she had trouble opening you up.
Yo, Sebos, what's up, man?
They gave Kazuya tracking homing moves. It's really crazy. Back then in older Tekken games, characters had identity. And what identity means, they have a specific type of playstyle that only they had. For example, Lee was the only character really counter hit fishing besides Steve and crushing a lot. So that made Lee special. And Lee was only the only person with like big wall carry. Now everybody could counter hit combo you, and now everybody could wall carry. So Lee is not unique anymore because every other character got the same stuff he got. I miss it when characters had specific stuff that was only to them. And when characters had specific weaknesses, like Ling Xiaoyu, she was the only person that could really AOP and do stuff like that. Now everybody got some stance, mix-ups, evasion, this type stuff. You know, it makes fighting games boring. Fighting games are cool when everybody's different. That's how you balance fighting games too. When everybody's different, they got weaknesses, you balance a fighting game. And players can actually pick characters based on what kind of character they want to play, based on their preferences. Now you don't need preferences in Tekken 8. If you play one character, you could play them all. And that makes a game extremely boring when everybody plays the same way. They thought about making their game
That's what I meant before.
And making it like real easy to play. And they make everybody cheap that casuals will love it. No, because then a sweaty player is going to play and kill and just destroy a casual
what's up?
In like 10 seconds. Because they can't do nothing. Casuals don't know frame data.
This is actually what we try to, like, this was my talking point in season 1 already. This exact thing, because you have to understand, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to spot that the developers trying to go into this homogenization vibe, you know, across the board. I tried to explain this to the people very early on. It was not because I was a doomer, it was because I figured out what they want to do with the game just earlier than other people, and I had the balls to say it because I am interested in the truth. If I find out something, for example, chat, yeah, I play the game and I can tell, okay, whatever they do, like say we want to do, they do the opposite. What I just figured out in season 1 already is like whatever they say to you, they will always do the opposite, and I applied this across the board, and there was too many like patterns that I recognized where I couldn't say anymore statistically this could be random factor that it's like that. You know, they said every character is gonna become more unique. They did the opposite. They said we want to emphasize the player's like personality. Everyone plays the same. They said we want to put the emphasis on movement. They did the opposite. We said to them we want less 50-50. They gave us more. We said we like movement. They gave us less. Like, it's too many, you know, it's just way too many of those instances where I'm like, okay, this game, the direction it's going is cooked. And since people didn't see it from my perspective, they just saw me from a superficial light and said I am a doomer. Or people that would see that what I am seeing, because I was not the only one. That's very important. I was not the only one. But the people that had this foresight, they were getting bashed on. So that was the annoying thing. And I really love what he said. Everything is spot on so far. I cannot say anything.
When you make something too broken with too much plus frames, the pro is just going to keep spamming plus. on the casual and do max damage combos. Casuals want to play stuff that's fun. Eating 1,000 frame damage, tracking frame advantage homing moves is not fun for a casual player because they're not gonna be able to do nothing. They're just gonna sit there and block all day. So I feel like Namco doesn't know how to balance the game in a sense that is good for casuals and good for pros. Tekken 8 Season 2 is not good for casuals and it's not good for pros. Why? For casuals, it's not fun because they just get bodied.
It's an old PC. The new PC is coming.
Nobody likes eating 50-50s all day.
I have 2 PCs now.
Nobody likes playing the same type of character for every single character. It's not fun at all. It's not fun at all. And Namco kind of killed the game themselves on top of the creators being so negative, because people been negative about Tekken 8 since the beginning.
To be fair, the movement does feel better, but now everyone has crazy homing moves that are either safe or plus. Yeah, you know what is interesting about what you said? It's like when Mirai sits there and says, we're gonna emphasize the defensive options of the characters, but we're gonna reiterate that we are not gonna go away from this aggressive. You know, aggressive, the vision. And how does that manifest in the game development? It manifests in such a way where they say, okay, if someone complains about Jin and some oppressive, aggressive moves, we're gonna nerf those and take the aggression somewhere else. And then they drop it somewhere else, and then Jin has that same BS kind of just somewhere else in the kit. Same with Brian, like other characters, all of them. You know, they just pick and drop, and that's all, moving the goalpost, so they don't like fix the problem, but they just make you run behind like all the time. Oh yeah, now this new one, and then they play a little bit with you and still go into the direction where they want. And in the past it was acceptable because it was not so far away still from what the people enjoyed, but now it's so far away that people don't really care anymore about like just addressing a specific character. This character shouldn't have this, and this character shouldn't have that. Now the people are at a point where they say the reason why the characters are like this is because you make the game shit. Like, you make the game in this way, and we don't want that. And when they say, for example, yeah, you can now move better, but they buff it, okay? So you cannot complain about movement, but then they put in like a virus backdoor where they say, yeah, but now here, look at that. I am gonna give you a homing +5, range 5 move where it makes the movement obsolete anyway, because we actually don't like this movement so much. We want you to be in your face all the time and mix. So then you run run behind the goalpost again, and now and that happened in the past in the season 1, where I tried to explain to the people, hey guys, they say like VDX, he says that you can now sidestep better, the main man says you can now sidestep better, but the moves hitboxes have been increased so much that you effectively step worse, because they cannot buff the hitbox of the move by 30% and then buff the sidestep by 10% and then claim the movement is better. It's gonna be worse, you just think it's better. And this is now the next step, the more extreme step, is not to only increase the hitboxes of the moves if the sidestep is better because they buffed the sidestep. No, now we're gonna give a new move that is gonna make the sidestep obsolete again, even though the sidestep got better once again. Like, it's so dumb, bro.
I know I've said my negative stuff about Tekken 8, but you know how I am. I keep it real, but I still want people to play the game. I still came out with guides, and videos like this is good because I express my concern and what I feel about the game, because I'm really passionate about Tekken. And of course, I want more people to play Tekken. But now it seems like there's not much we can really do. You know, I'm going to keep trying to make positive videos and provide videos like this so people can understand the problems with Tekken 8. We know what's the problems. They need to add more content to the game, and they need to update the game faster. And they also need to obviously up the defensive option. There's too much plus range, too much homing moves. They need a lower damage output. I think increasing the health bar makes the game more YOLO and crazy. They ain't need to do that. If they want to make the game more solid, they should have buffed pokes like they did from Tekken 6 Vanilla to BR. BR had buff pokes. They need a lower combo damage, and they need a nerf heat engager plus. They nerfed it from +17 to +9. It should only be like +3 or +4, so you can actually move and counterplay stuff. It'll make the game a lot more solid, that you can use movement and counterplay because it's lower plus. Like the heat engager has always been something that it forces you to guess because it's too much plus. Plus 9 is still too much plus. Obviously, you could sidestep a running move and whatnot, but it's still too crazy. Obviously, heat burst is a big problem. I don't think.
Wait a second, bro. Bro, look at the main man. What the fuck are you on about, man? You old fucking fucker, man.
Is Medusa still doing his I hate everyone, I hate Tekken 8 streams, or is he playing ranked?
Oh man, you fucking motherfucker, man.
Heat burst, you can't backdash out of a heat burst. You can't make a heat burst. It's too hard to make a heat burst whiff. And also heat bursts, they recover too fast on whiff. Somebody will whiff a heat burst and then the game will lag, and then you try to whiff punish it and they'll block. So heat bursts in general needs to get a big nerf. They need to make it easier to whiff punish, and they need to reduce the range. Also, some characters heat bursts, it tracks too. You try to sidewalk it and it tracks.
Bro, am I under the shower?
50s and Tekken should be earned. It should.
Yo, I need to go forward. Sorry.
To characters that can't get damage without Oki. Like it becomes is way too simple. But I do think Tekken 8 is the easiest fighting game out right now. Yes, Tekken 8 is easier than Street Fighter 6, and Tekken 8 is definitely easier than Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is the complete opposite of Tekken 8. Say Fatal Fury City of the Wolves has too many defensive options that all the pros are not even doing yet. You know, just defend. You could punish people in between strings. With the just defend, the new joint they got in that game. That game is crazy. They got dodging. You could low dodge, high dodge. It's crazy, that game. Crazy, 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 crazy. Of course, they got armor with the SPD. You know what I'm saying? So that game is really, really technical. The issue with that game is that it's too technical for a new audience. Casual players, they're going to drop that game real soon. And the only people that's going to play Fatal Fury is all the sweats. So that's the issue. I think SNK...
Yo, chat, I have a question. What fighting game, in your opinion, yeah? Because for some reason, the way I feel like most of the time things turn out to be is, you know, you have America, the political system, for example, you have the extreme left or you have the extreme right. There is like kinda no middle. You're either that on that side or on that side. You always need to decide. And with fighting games, somehow it's similar. It's either super aggressive brain dead or super fucking broken defense, and then that makes no sense either. Do you know any game that hits the middle well? I would say Tekken 6 hits the middle well. Tekken 7 doesn't. Because Tekken 7, if you pick the right character, it makes no sense defensively. Kunimitsu, for example, is like this defense plus 20 and no vibe, bro. You just step, everything whiffs, you backdash to the moon, the opponent can't catch you, and the poking is broken. You don't need to think. Tekken 7 Kuni is not balanced, bro. Tekken 7 Kuni is crank up defense. I think Tekken 7 Kazuya is balanced. That's why I like Kazuya. You know why I like Kazuya in Tekken 7? It's because that character, in the identity of the gameplay, in my opinion, has this, like, I don't go max on offense, I don't go max on defense. You need to switch in between styles. And this is what I think Tekken 8 could be if the devs wouldn't choose to do either something extremely to the right or something extremely to the left. That's what you see all the time with this game, you know? When they buff a defensive option, they make it like super broken. For example, Power Crush Heat Engager. It's a defensive option at the end of the day. And then when they buff like a offensive option, they buff it also to such an extent where you're like, yeah, this has no counterplay anymore.
Should have made it a little bit more friendlier and made it less like Street Fighter. My issue with the game is too much like Street Fighter. It doesn't...
Because when you think about it, they took out Power Crush Heat Engagers, and the devs design game not only for Season 1, but when Season 1 is out, they already have the philosophy of Season 2, kind of. This is very important for you to understand. And then when they do that, they have in mind what they put into the game, like power crush heat engager. But because everyone hated it so much, they removed it obviously. But now in season 2, unironically, a power crush heat engager full combo is the one thing that you need to have in order to survive the brain dead pressure. Because from what I've witnessed so far is some situations can't be solved without a power crush now. So it's like they had that design philosophy in mind from before. Okay, we give like a broken fucking offensive like linear thing. If you do it, you do it. If you don't do it, then the defensive guy does like a power crush and like runs through. It's really retarded.
I feel like a fatal free game. But, you know, Tekken has a long way to go. I hope Namco could come out with new stuff to make the game fun for everybody. Because even me, I stream the game every day. The game is not fun. It's
thank you, man.
50-50s. Everybody that plays is a cheater. They ain't fixed the cheating in the game. So, you know, there's no fun in that. There's no fun. And I really hope that all the creators will be a bit more positive. I feel like a lot of creators, I don't blame them because season 2 is horrible, but as a creator, you want people to play the game that you're known for. A lot of creators, they just quit the game. A lot of pros just quit the game and just started playing other stuff and just kind of gave up on, you know, trying to speak out about the game or whatever. You know, I'm glad that I'm not going to quit for you guys, and I'm going to keep making content and streaming and trying to make all these videos because I'm passionate about Tekken. I played Tekken for a long time. And I understand Tekken a lot more than a lot of people just because I played the game at a high level for a way longer time than everybody else. I've been playing Tekken in tournaments since I was 14 years old. My first competitive Tekken was Tekken 5. So y'all know that I know. You know what I'm saying? It also doesn't...
Okay, but GM, now you need to explain to me one thing. Okay, you are addressing content creators, so I am a content creator. I shall be positive about the game. And then you say, the game is bad, I don't blame them. Okay, how am I supposed to be positive then? Like, what shall I do? How does that positivity manifest in a good way? Like, what am I supposed to do? I jump on, I play the game, it's ass, no one is ranked, nothing makes sense. And then what am I supposed to do? Smoke Galaxy gas, laugh a little bit, and then say, yeah, boys, heavy vibe, play the game. Why would I... wait a minute. Or let me ask this question in a different way. Let's say I am working on the Titanic and someone tells me that the Titanic is gonna sink later. And then I'm standing there and then I'm gonna say, everyone, please come in, please come in. It's gonna be the journey of your life. And then we all drown together. What am I supposed to do? I don't really get it.
Help. You know, the local scenes are kind of done so. People don't want to play online and people don't want to play offline. And the people that do want to play, they only play with their friends. So the community's still inclusive and they kind of just hated it on their own game and threw it in the trash. But like I said, man, hopefully in the future, Namco could fix the game up. I'm going to keep making my videos to get you guys to play. I'm going to keep making tutorials. I'm going to react to stuff. So I'm not going to give up on the game yet, because you guys have blessed me. We close to 15K subscribers on YouTube. I'm 15K followers on Twitch, and I have over 1,000 subscribers on Twitch. Second month in a row with 1,000 subs. This is the second time I got over 1,000 subs, by the way. So
okay, now I get it. You have like a lot of monetary gain from the game, and you appreciate support, and you want to give like the power and everything. You're motivated. Fair enough. I've been there. I get it.